Hello and welcome to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio, 708-223-8953. Let me say that again, 708-223-8953. So thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate all the love and all the support that you all have been giving me concerning this platform, this show, and let's get into it. So tonight's topic is going to be about the campaign that we're running in Dalton, Illinois. I'm gonna cut straight to it. I'm running for trustee, and Mrs. Jordan is running for mayor. And we talked about it before. If you didn't catch the show last time, go ahead and go to intellectualradio.com, go to YouTube, and we talked about it. We talked about making a change in Dalton, cleaning the whole house. We outlined some things, um, more so in the second half of the show about what we were going to work on specifically. First half of the show, we talked about pretty much what you all have seen in social media about the things that are wrong. But I want you all to know we're not just highlighting the things that are wrong about Dalton. We're also talking about what our plan is to combat some of these things with the taxes and the the empty houses and just different ideas and plans. A lot of people who live in Dalton want better. They want to be represented by folks who understand what transparency is about, leadership's about, dignity, and they deserve that. People work too hard for their property. They work too hard on their jobs to come to a place to where as soon as they turn on the news or as soon as they look on social media, there's a whole bunch of clickbait that's talking about the negative. And Dalton's a beautiful place with beautiful people, and there's a lot of beautiful ideas in Dalton. So I'm going to give you some information on how to support our campaign. Again, 2025, that's when we'll be taking those seats. I am Denasha Lee Harrison, as you all know, running for trustee, and Miss Cassandra is running for mayor. So real quick, and her full name Cassandra Hobson Jordan. Cassandra Hobson Jordan. So she's running for mayor, and we are going to do our best to represent the people because that's what real leaders do. So let me give you this information before we keep rolling with the show. Let's see. So rebuilding Dalton at gmail.com. I say again, rebuilding Dalton at gmail.com. So I'm going to spell it out for you. Capital R and then small e, building, capital D, small o, lton at gmail.com. So rebuilding Dalton at gmail.com. Go to rebuildingdalton at gmail.com and please donate to support the campaign. Also, if you have any questions about how the campaign is rolling out, where we'll be at, what'll be going on between now and February, you can go ahead and get your questions answered by going to that address. So rebuildingdalton at gmail.com. Go there, donate. You can actually donate here on Intellectual Radio, but for intellectualradio.com, donate to the shows that's talking about the issues. So do your part. Now, we know we have a huge presidential election going on, right? November. The DNC was very successful here in Chicago. I heard a lot of people had a lot of fun doing their thing at the DNC. I heard people had so much fun that they had access to go the whole time, but because there was so much going on, they were good after day one, day two. Their fun meters were pegged, right? So it was a lot going on in the city. Uh, I think there was minimum issues concerning the city, concerning the area. People had an opportunity to protest, have their voices heard, and a lot of people had an opportunity to see how Chicago can show up on a national stage when it came to the committee doing what they did for the party, and when it came to the hospitality that Chicago is known for. So I believe that the majority of people that I know had a wonderful time while they were here taking care of business for the DNC. So we just got done hosting that, and we did it well. I think that it's very important that we do support politics on that national level. I say it all the time. But as far as Dalton is concerned, support your friendly neighborhood guy that you know, Danasha. I'm not going to put my name on anything that doesn't value people, that doesn't value doing things the right way, doing the right thing the right way. And if you look a couple of shows back, I talked about, I was going back and forth about, all the alleged things that were being said, and I was contemplating if I should have my name on the ticket, didn't have my name on the ticket. I feel like I really dodged a bullet, and I feel like I am on the right ticket with the right people to do the right thing for the people of Dalton. So that's where I'm at with everything. So again, you don't live in Dalton. Of course, you can't vote in Dalton, but you can do a lot to help. Besides, rebuilding that Dalton at gmail.com, there's a lot that you can do to help. If you don't have the funds, but you have the time, get with me. If you're in the area, you can meet me, help me knock on some doors, help me get some petitions signed so that we can continue to move this train forward because we are going to be doing this thing in phases. There's a lot that we're going to be rolling out in the near future. Of course, I'm not going to share all that right now, but if you keep up with me, you can meet me and help us continue to move this ball forward when it comes to the affairs of Dalton, Illinois. I live there, and I feel like it's my obligation to to do all that I can to make it the best space that I can, especially since I live there. So you got a lot of good people that live there that deserve again. They deserve great representation from their legislative bodies, from those leaders. There's a lot of businesses that can move into Dalton and get busy taking care of business. Somebody just has to pick up the phone and give people the opportunity to do what to add to what would make Dalton great. So that's where I'm at on that. Wanted to share that. 224-800-9719. 224-800-9719. That's my direct line. Feel free to give me a call if you got any questions about what's going on with the campaign in Dalton, Illinois. If you got some questions about what's going on here at uh, Intellectual Radio, if you got some questions about what's going on in Chicago, just hit me up. Let's have a conversation. Let's catch up if I haven't talked to you in a while. Let's catch up and find out what's going on in your world. Again, I always like to mention those circles. Make sure that your circle is a positive one, whether it's a big circle or a small circle. Make sure that the people in your circle are doing you right, and make sure that you're doing those people in those circles right. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say about the politics. Get involved, register, vote, let your voice be heard. A lot of people got us here to this point. So let's go ahead and do our part and let's make sure that our voices matter. Let's make sure that our votes matter. And if you don't vote, you still have a voice. Some of you, if you were incarcerated and you haven't had your privileges to vote restored, I know some states are allowing the process of having um, ex convicts, ex felons, privileges to vote restored. If that doesn't pertain to you, but you still want to work um, in the political world, you still have a voice. So, depending on what you want to do, how you want to do it, hey, you still have an opportunity to help um, have your views and opinions represented by allowing your voice to be heard. So, if you've had the vote taken away from you for some past reason, don't feel like you cannot make a difference. You can still make a difference. And for those of you who are not old enough to vote yet, you can make a difference as well. So just because you're not old enough to you haven't hit that 18-year mark, you can still put in work for those who matter most to you concerning the issues that you have around your dinner tables, concerning the issues that you want someone to represent you on. Even if you're under 18 years old, you can still make a difference. So make sure you do so. Everybody has a voice. Be heard because it's important. So with that, I'm going to go to a quick musical break and I'll be right back. And then we'll have more conversation here on the Denasha Harrison Show, intellectualradio.com. Talk to you in a minute.
You ain't got enough money to buy my soul. Ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This the matrix, I'm Neo. I know that I know I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope, I know where to go. Switch my style from singing vocals to magical flows. Study the streets a little closer. One with the ghetto. Got wise as I got older. Unloaded the metal. New millennium rebel. After that federal dollar. Balance the world on my shoulders. I know my soldiers are following. We at war. Cause kids still dying in the streets at war. On the block, running from the police at war. With the US, this ain't the Middle East at war. With the problems in my own community in the swore. It's the only way to fight an enemy. Lord, save my father from this bottom to Hennessy. What more can I give? I'm giving all of me. And for real, it's only getting hotter for me. Harder to see and harder to breathe. And there's only one remedy. I gotta be smarter than my enemies.
In the water, wade in the water, children, now wade in the water. God's in trouble.
I'm being chased by demons, the triple team exposed to false religions. I'm hated by jealous niggas that don't want to see me living my life scarred from living hope. Pulling up papers, I'm chasing paper, no holes barred.
Welcome back to the Denasha Harrison Show here on Intellectual Radio, where you feed your brain. 708-223-8953. That is the number here, 708-223-8953 or 224-800-9719. I appreciate you all joining me. And for those of you who are followers of the show, you can see I'm on a little earlier than usual, but that's all right. We're going to go ahead and keep this conversation going. If you're just joining us, we've talked a little bit about what's going on in Dalton. We talked a little bit about the DNC here in Chicago. They did their thing. I'd like to talk a little bit more about politics. Um, I've talked to a lot of people over the past few days, not only about my own campaign, but about the presidency that's going forward. A lot of people feel that their option to choose someone was taken away from them um, concerning the Democratic nominee Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Um, Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I call bull crap on a lot of things that a lot of people are pushing because I believe that ultimately people just don't want to vote for a lady to be in the White House. I feel like everybody's coming up with every type of excuse why they're not going to be involved with this process concerning the presidency, concerning electing, well, not electing someone, but actually putting the vote in. Um, I feel they just simply don't want to vote for a woman, a black woman, to be the next president of the United States. I'm not just talking about men; I'm talking about women as well. I ran into a lady who talked about how Trump was her man. And that was it. That was all. And the reason that she gave was she felt like a woman couldn't run the affairs of this country like a man could, even though the person that she's leaning towards is Trump. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to their vote. Everybody's entitled to their voice. But again, I think we do ourselves a disservice when we don't educate ourselves about the different choices that we have. I think we do a disservice to our country when we don't listen to people when they tell you who they are. You know, the whole Medal of Honor situation that went on. Um, the Congressional Medal of Freedom versus the Medal of Honor. They're in two different categories, but you have someone who wants to be at the helm of this country who does not distinguish the difference between the two, whether he's too ignorant to understand the differences or whether he simply does not care. The facts is that he does not understand the differences between the two. And you're talking about, the congressional, um, the you're talking about the Medal of Freedom and the Medal of Honor. So for some of you, you might feel like it's no big deal. The Congressional Medal of Honor and you know the other medal, you might feel like it's no big deal. It's just a medal, or it's no big deal. For whatever reason you feel. But I think that if you can't recognize something that's so significant concerning what civilians do and what they do great, and what the military folks do and what they do great, giving the ultimate sacrifice for the person to their left or to their right, not fishing for a congressional medal of honor. I'm sure that everybody who has one was not trying to get one, past or present. So if you don't distinguish the differences between something as significant, then who's to say that you're going to, consider other important things in the lives of people here, or in our country? Okay, you want to talk policy? We can talk policy until we blue in the face. We could talk about how the borders are not secure, but we can talk about how there's a bipartisan agreement on the table to secure the borders, but the people that want to go for Trump, they know good and well that he made those phone calls to say, hey, you know what? Let's not pass that bipartisan bill to do our borders better. But then you turn around and say that the Biden administration didn't do anything to stem, the flow of um, asylum seekers, illegal immigrants coming into this country. You can't have it both ways. So if you're going to recognize that, there needs to be more done in one area, then you need to recognize why there needs to be done, why other things need to be done in one area. If Congress would have passed what was on the table to pass, what they agreed to pass, then we wouldn't have the conversation about the border situation as much as we're having it, which lets me know that it's about the politics and not about the people. And I'm saying this repeatedly when it comes to my own campaign to run for trustee and for Mrs. Jordan's campaign to run for mayor. We've always said that as long as somebody's for the people, we support them. And when you ask questions and people don't support um, your answers with anything, you know, truth, lie, something in the middle, when people just don't answer the questions that you have about the facts that are in front of you, then you have to wonder and you have to come to a conclusion, because you're not getting any answers, that they're probably not for the people. And so, do you align yourself with somebody that's not for the people? Do you go down the same rabbit hole that everybody else is going down? Do you bite that apple? All the different analogies. Do you walk not blindly because you see that things are going left? So, in spite of you seeing that things are going left, do you still take that walk? And if the answer is yes for you, then I would declare that you're not really there for the business of taking care of the people. If the people has questions that were never answered, if 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 there's no clarity about where tax dollars are going, if there's no knowledge about the how to's concerning starting small businesses, then you'd have to assume that the people that are in charge are not leading as they should. And so, back to the presidential stage, same deal. You can pick policies and you can debate policies, but at the end of the day, when you have someone that's qualified and someone that's not qualified based on previous experiences, then make the right choice, not the popular choice. Make the right choice. The choice is that you want somebody that's in office that can lead our country and that respects, or at least acts like they respect, uh, the people that are in the prospective positions to help keep our country safe and keep our country free. So, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But if a person's blatantly telling you that they don't give two I'm not going to pay for this curse jar, so I'm not about to swear. If they don't give two cares about you or your accolades or what's going on in your life, if they're telling you that, then believe them and make the right choice for your household. Don't just go with the popular vote. Um, an example for me, I voted Democrat since I've been voting. Concerning my ticket, I'm not running as a Democrat. I'm running as an independent. And for me, Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever gets me closer to the win concerning the people's business is what I'm gonna do. Now, I believe that most independents are Democrat leaning. They lean more towards Democrats. Um, if you want to look at it as a conservative Democrat with liberal Republican views, then you got yourself an independent. And so I don't believe that anybody should vote up and down one ticket just because of the party. I believe that you actually should, take the time to take a look at what people really do stand for. You're not going to agree with everything. You're not going to disagree with everything. So take a look. And of course, if your party is leaning more towards your values or the party that you usually go with, then do the right thing so that you're not an obstacle to the process of getting a better deal for the things that you believe in. So I've said often that I'm no one's yes man, and at the same time, I'm not going to be anybody's obstacle. So, concerning this presidential election, concerning my own campaign, I'm gonna make sure that I support those people who support the people. I had a conversation with some trustees, and they asked the question, "Hey, why are you running? If you run, you're going to split the vote." And my answer was, well, it's not really about who wins or loses as long as the issues that are in front of us are are handled, as long as the people are being taken care of. It's not important about, who wins or loses. And then that person said, well, if it doesn't matter to you who wins or loses, who takes the seat, why don't you just run some other time? Why don't you run in a couple of years? Because you don't know if the people that are sitting in the seat are actually doing the job or not. And my answer was, you're absolutely right. I don't know what you're doing in the seat. I'd have to take a look at your record. And guess what? If my views align with the record that you've been doing, then guess what? I'm going to support you. But if I feel like I could do something better, and by the way, it's also my right to run, then I'm going to run. And guess what? If you're for the people and I'm for the people, then the people win. And that means that we both win if that's what we own. But if we own something different, then may the best person win. Because at the end of the day, I'm not doing anything for clickbait. Lord knows I'm not. I'm not doing anything to stick my chest out and say that I've put this together. I did this, I did that. Hey, I'm here to serve. And the whole campaign that me and Mrs. Jordan is running is a campaign of service. She's been in the community for 16 plus. I just moved to the community. At the end of the day, people are tired of not just what's going on social media, but they're tired of looking at their tax bill, and their tax bill is about the same amount that their mortgage is. They're tired of the transparency not being there. 3.4 million, and there's no answer to it. That's your hard money earned that you pay, you know, taxes for. So at the end of the day, the campaign that we're running is a campaign of dignity, respect, transparency, fiscal responsibility. I'll say it again. It's a campaign of dignity, respect, transparency, and fiscal accountability. We want to make sure that the people understand that the people that are legislating are on their side. So examine your households, examine your communities, examine your neighborhoods, and make sure that your communication with your aldermans or trustees or mayors or whatever the structure is in your neighborhood, make sure that you're getting the answers that you deserve because of what you're paying into. You're paying for a service. When you elect someone, you're paying for a service. You're when you're paying your taxes, you're paying for a service. Let me say that, because when you elect someone, your vote is enough. Your vote is enough. So support those who support your causes. And at the end of the day, understand that no matter what side of the table you're on, if you're good to yourself and you believe in being good to others, that you're probably going to come to the same agreements on the same things. You want to make sure that your families are safe. You want to make sure that you can earn for your families and that you got a roof over your head and that your communities are peaceful places to stay. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, I can surely say that that's pretty much what everybody wants. So, just come to yes on some of those things. So, just wanted to share that. Not much going on otherwise. So, talking a little bit about the politics, I want you all to know that from here on out, I will be plugging my campaign. Now, if you want to talk about something besides what you're going to hear me talk about, then you got the number 223-8953, area code 708, or 224-800-9719. If you want to see something different, you want to hear something different, feel free, because right now we're in campaign mode. It's a lot of people that's got stirred up. A lot of people are not happy that we're running. A lot of people that already have those seats are not happy that we're running. Some people are nervous, and that's not a bad thing from our perspective because that means that um, we're getting people's attention. So the fact that we are getting people's attention right now, it's August. We got, February is not too far off. Might sound like a lot of time, but there's different things, as I said in the beginning, that need to be accomplished. So as we continue to run this campaign and as we continue to move forward, that's going to be the hot topic of discussion, so that we can get you all on board to get the word out as much as possible about what's going on, how we're getting things done, and how we're doing it. Your donations are great. If it's not the dollar, make it your time, whatever you can do, spreading the word, just make it happen. We really appreciate it. And, if you know me, and you're going to get to know Mrs. Jordan, you just watch our actions, right? Watch the walk as well as listening to the talk, and follow us. Make sure you follow us, and make sure you give us your opinion about what's going on. Constructive criticism is always good. We don't know everything. Some of you out there got wonderful experience running campaigns. Some of you have wonderful experience with these type of things when it comes to politics. If you think something needs to be done different, you want to pitch your idea in the ring, please do so, because we're not going to turn away a good idea when it comes to trying to come to yes so that we can win those seats and do what we need to do for the people of Dalton. So just want to share that. Next Wednesday, we're going to be talking about campaign stuff. I'll have more details about what's coming up campaign wise. We got a lot of great things that we're going to be doing in Dalton. So I'm going to give you some times, locations, events, just help you all follow this path, follow this journey with us as we move forward to um, take care of business for the people. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. Just wanted to come in and say hi. Again, I had the opportunity to come in a little early, had the opportunity to be like, you know what? Yeah, let me just go ahead and show my face, say, hey, how you doing? There's some things that we will revisit. Um, the last time we talked a few shows ago, we talked about King Mustafa. He was supposed to come on, but I believe he had a death in the family, and I haven't heard from him since. So I hope that he's well. I hope all is well with the people that are um, doing the investigation down there about, pulling folks out the river. That's Plains, I believe, is what it was. So that and a couple other things we got going on. So just because I'm going to be talking about the election, don't mean that everything else gets sidelined. Just want you to know. Um, any wonderful topic that we feel we need to bring to you, we will. And thank you for always supporting. Again, 224-800-9719 or 708-223-8953, and rebuildingdalton at gmail.com. Rebuildingdalton at gmail.com. Support, 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 support. So before I go, intellectualradio.com. We're a platform that has multiple shows on it. We're one big family. Whether you want to subscribe to listen to my show or you want to subscribe to listen to the other shows, just subscribe, because I guarantee you're going to find something on intellectualradio.com that's going to fit where you are with things concerning you, building up your knowledge base about not only what's going on here in Chicago, in Illinois, but depending on what the topic is with the show, it's going to take you somewhere outside of the state. So, intellectualradio.com, subscribe, intellectualradio.com, donate. If you don't specifically know who you want to donate things to, then just pick a show. I guarantee you that the shows that are on intellectualradio.com that are on this platform, they're decent people, good shows. So um, pick a show, donate, and just keep the love going. All of this stuff takes money and it takes time. So there's nothing free that you see. So understand that there's people behind the scenes. There's people keeping these lights on, keeping these doors open, um, doing multiple jobs so that we can bring you this content. And one of the ways that you can show your appreciation for the content, of course, is going on Facebook, going on intellectualradio.com, comment section, like button, the whole nine, spreading the word, but also, donating dollars if you can. And if you don't have the dollars to donate, again, If you got the time, donate that somehow, some way. Donate that somehow, some way. But yeah, it's not easy um, bringing this content to you when it comes to various shows across the board. We love it. We're going to do it. We're going to continue to do it. And we're thankful for the platform. But it's both sides of it, right? It's not just us saying thank you. It's you supporting. And if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. So besides your views, bring somebody else in. You know, if you don't have the time or you don't have the coin, then use your gift of gab and tell somebody else about the shows that are here on intellectualradio.com. So I just wanted to pass that, share that. Again, thank you for joining me on this short show. I hope that, it was a meaningful show, but I will be on next Wednesday and I will share content with you on what's going on in Denasha's world. So again, if the levee don't break and the creek don't rise, we will see you next Wednesday. Stay safe and thank you for support. Talk to you soon.
You ain't got enough money to buy my soul. Ain't strong enough to stop me. I'm out of control. This dimensions, I'm Neo. I know that I know I am that I am. That's why I speak so bold. On the verge of losing hope.